I got involved in politics in my 30s. I joined together with a group of neighbours actually trying to save a local school playing field. That was the beginning of my involvement. I had a real feeling that the community wasn't being listened to, despite putting forward its views very strongly and articulately and passionately, and that was the beginning of my involvement. I got involved in campaigning. I wrote to local newspapers. I'd previously been involved in politics to the extent of voting every year, every time there was an election, I should say. Sometimes that is every year. But my involvement didn't go much further than those, dinner time chats with family. But being involved in that campaign, feeling that community councils were engaging with the issues that mattered to them, that local people were, it was sort of the beginning of my involvement. I wrote to all the political parties. That really was the start of my thinking, actually, people aren't being listened to. I want to get more involved. And I did. Got involved in party politics in 1999, and there were people around me, and both women and men who had different experiences, were more experienced than I was, who very strongly encouraged me to put myself forward. But I still remember walking to a hustings where we were going to, select a candidate from the internal party. And I walked from my home into the centre of Edinburgh. It was about 3 or 4 miles, and every step of the way I thought, I was just so aware of how nervous I felt and how little I felt I knew, but I was being encouraged and supported all the way by family and friends and those who had been politically active before me. And that support really does make a world of difference. I wish I'd known then that I didn't need to know everything about everything. I felt I put myself under quite a lot of pressure to make sure I was over all subjects as fully as I possibly can be. As I've become more experienced in politics, there are always those on hand that you can discuss details with, you can learn from people who have got expertise, you can tune into different debates, you can read, but you don't need to know everything about everything. And I think that's probably the thing I wish most that I had known at the time. I might have got involved sooner had that been the case. Women aren't a minority, yet we're still struggling to have equal representation. And representation really matters. We want to make sure that we're benefiting from the capacity and the experiences of all of Scottish society. Yet across the globe we know that only about 25% of parliamentarians are women. Now we're doing obviously better than that here in Scotland, but let's not be complacent. I would be so disappointed to see that any backward step occurred in the next parliament. So the more that we can do to ensure that women are wholly involved in our democracy, the better. I just think it's so important. I want young women to look at the parliament and see that representation there and not hesitate to put themselves forward, because we really do need more women in politics just learning from their experiences and seeing them becoming more active and more engaged. Projects like Elect Her are so important in ensuring that women feel they are part of a collective, that they will have the support they need when they need it. They're a great resource and one that I would highly recommend tapping into.